Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I gotta sit there and say, for the most part, I generally enjoy this episode. Um, okay, so here's the thing. You got Thomas and Reg in the room with Steffi that's still in shock. But Finn is also in shock too. And he keeps turning around and he keeps looking at the amount of blood, the blood of his birth mother just on the ground, right? And so, yesterday he was all like, that animal you Smith you're talking about, that was my mother. Now, okay, I get it from where people are coming from. The same mom who shot you and your wife and left you both dead in the alley. That mom? Yes. Trust me, I get in a sense how out of pocket that is. Right? But the thing about people is that they are very complex, right? Their emotions don't necessarily always dictate logic, right? So everyone's not just saying she looks a monster, she did this, she did that, she shot people, terrorized people, yada 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 yada. The list goes on, probably before I was born. In this moment, he's looking at her as her mother, as his mother. He says it multiple times. So he's not thinking about Sheila as the homicidal maniac or anything else. He's thinking about her as his mother. Okay? Now, I get where Ridge is coming from. Ridge is like, yo, listen, I'm sorry for being so callous. And then he continues to be callous about it. But he's like, yo, listen, it was between my daughter and Sheila. And she had to do what she had to do, which is 100% true. And he's like, yo, listen, you need to be sitting there being there for your wife. You need to be grateful that she's alive. Okay? And of course, Finn is like, yeah, I didn't want anything to happen to her. And, Thomas, he chimes in a little bit. But at the end of the day, he said to all three of them, he was like, yeah, Steffi killed my mother. So you already know where his head is at. And there's no, you know, there's one point he's crying and Rich is like, hey, look at me, listen to me. And I'm like, this is not what you want to do right now. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I get where Rich is coming from. You are making the situation worse. And that's why Steffi was like, y'all need to leave. Y'all need to sit there and let me sit there and talk to him because as much passion as conviction that he's coming from, and I'm not just saying that he's wrong in a sense, you're not helping the situation, and he's not in a state where he's able to sit there and listen to logic and reasoning. So when he leaves, I mean when both of them leaves, they have a talk, right? Meanwhile, you got Brooke and Hope asking Carter, where's more information? Can we get more information? Is that all you have? Just like asking really stupid questions. Like yesterday, and I really wanted to do a Bond of Beautiful review yesterday. Um, there's a point where Hope, and I said this in my live stream. I really need y'all to come to these live streams, okay? Um, the Bold and Beautiful fans, I need y'all to sit there and come to these live streams because there's a point where Hope is like, I get that Sheila works at that restaurant, but she shouldn't have been near Steffi's kids. That statement just sounds stupid, right? Because Sheila is at her restaurant where she works at. She can't control who comes in there. So what was Sheila supposed to do? I get that they don't like Sheila for very good, valid reasons, right? But what was Sheila supposed to do? Leave? She's supposed to leave her own goddamn restaurant. Does that make sense? No. Now, should she have sat there and approached Kelly and stuff like that? No. But when Kelly took that picture, Sheila was in the background. Sheila was not in the photo. She wasn't sitting there doing a selfie or anything like that. She was in the background. She was working. Steffi came there like a maniac, barged into her place, and when Sheila asked her to leave, she said no, and then assaulted her. This is where I start to I look at that and I'm like, Steffi loves to sit there and play victim, right? She loves to sit there and play the poor innocent me. Sheila came to that house. Yes, she's a deranged sociopath, but she didn't come to that house before you assaulted her. This isn't the first time you did that. This is the second time. Not to mention, yeah, she shot you and left you dead in the alley, but this is after you confronted her in a dark alley. You confronted a known sociopath. The hell do you think the outcome was going to be? So anyway, um, Ridge and Thomas, Ridge and Thomas go back, let everyone know that Steffi was the one that killed um, Sheila, right? Also told Carter to sit and make some calls because, um, they want to make sure that Steffi doesn't get charged. And, the whole time when Ridge was there, Steffi kept on saying, like, listen, this is a self-defense. Like, I didn't want to do this. She was literally in the house. You can't make, what I'm saying? It wasn't one of those situations where Steffi was there and it happened. She was in her home and Sheila came there. So, yeah, I understand where Steffi's coming from. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? And she nearly killed me and left, I had to sit there and leave my kids and stuff like that. I'm not doing that again. What did you want me to do? And that's why when she said that, Finn was like, oh, so you decided to plunge a knife into her chest? And I'm just like, well, what did you want her to do? You know? Like, logic and emotions don't always go hand in hand. So, yeah, that comment was definitely out of pocket. But there's a point where he's looking at his mother's blood that's on the floor. And yes, I know people are saying Leah's her mother. Leah's his mother. We can all get that. We can all get behind that. But in that moment, he's not thinking about Leah. So he goes to Sheila's blood and puts it on his hand. He's like, this is my mother's blood. That's on my hands. And it's on yours. And that's pretty much where it ends. And I've read the stuff on Instagram because I don't usually go to Twitter because, well, I go to Twitter for other reasons. But, stuff that I read on Instagram, people saying, oh, Sheila got killed this way, Finn and stuff, you could sit there and break up and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And it is what it is. Okay? I don't think he's going to sit there and look at Steffi the same way again. I think he is in a lot of shock. And he is dealing with that in probably a not good way. But the point is, he's not gonna sit there and see Steffi. Like yeah, he wants Steffi to be okay and stuff like that. Yeah, he's blaming himself. He wished he would have got there faster. But he's not gonna be able to sit there and see Steffi in any other way other than the person who killed his mother, the killer who killed his mother, which is really ironic because um his mother was the person who damn near killed um him and his wife. But at this point, it is what it is. I feel like that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Usually, I would sit there and say, "Come to the live stream tonight," but I'm gonna have more time tomorrow to do the live stream. As usual time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I want a lot of my bold and beautiful fans to sit there and come through. I'm gonna be live streaming for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It depends on how the conversation goes. I always sit there and say it's an hour and a half, and it turns into 2 hours. But come through. Also, Saturday, I'm going to be doing a live stream as well. Since I'm not doing one tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I'm also going to do on Saturday. In the afternoon sometimes, but check the community tab because that's where I always sit there and post the dates on when I'm going to sit there and do what, and what time I'm going to sit there and do it in. So yes, check that out. I feel like that's about it. Also, if you're not a member, make sure you join. I do exclusive live streams, exclusive videos, and member shoutouts that I do once a month to let the members know that I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful for their support. If you definitely want to sit there and join that and be a part of those conversations, because he definitely gets spelled out some things. Anyway, share the video if you can, because that also helps out the channel as well. So if you're not too sure about being a member yet, and you feel that you can help out the channel just by sharing the video, trust me, that really does actually help. Um, I like, Warner Beautiful has been doing for like 35 years, or give or take. But it does have a rich history. I got to sit there and imagine at some point it was really good. I mean, it's still on the air for a reason. How long it stays on the air is another subject and maybe another video, but I know there's a lot of Bollywood Beautiful fans out there, so definitely sharing the video does help. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. If anything I miss, we'll talk about it tomorrow, as well as whatever we'll talk about tomorrow with the next episode. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in the next video.